Mommy, it's a video.
Stop. Stop. Why do you always have to do that? Stop.
Miya, baby girl, if you can hear me, if you're seeing me, we're here. We're coming. Hold on. Miya, we're looking for you. We're coming for you. And you keep holding on.
They say women should carry pepper spray. They say you should carry a taser. But Mia's bag that lay inches away from her decomposing body had those very things inside, and yet they were of no use to her when it mattered. At 19 years old, the young and vibrant Miya Marcano was living what most would consider a typical college life. She was a sophomore at Valencia College in Orlando, balancing her studies with her off-campus job as a resident advisor at Arden Villa's apartment, where she also lived with a roommate. Her parents were proud. She was on the path to accomplishing her dreams. She had a life full of potential and promise. But when Mia's path crosses with a dangerous predator and co-worker, the course of her life will take a devastating shift. And without a moment's notice, Miya will vanish. Miya Marcano had suddenly gone silent. It was not like her to not be in communication with her family. According to her mother, Miya was always in constant contact with the family, and not 1 hour would pass without her touching base with someone. But on Friday, September 24, 2021, hours passed and no one had heard from Miya. That evening, Miya was expected to return to South Florida to spend the weekend with her family. But there was no text from Miya saying she had boarded the flight, nor were there any other updates. And what's even stranger was that she wasn't responding to any messages either. At first, her loved ones thought her phone might have died. But when the plane landed in Fort Lauderdale without Miya, they knew that something was wrong.
I knew that something was wrong with her. I knew something happened to her.
Miya was born on April 26, 2002 in Pembroke Pines, Florida, to mother Ema Gabriel and father Marlon Marcano. Though Ema and Marlon separated when Miya and her brother Marlon Jr. were younger, the family still remained close-knit.
What you could do? What you could do?
Miya had a big personality in a tiny frame, standing less than 5 feet tall. In high school, she was a cheerleader and loved to help her fellow classmates. Her big smile and infectious laugh stuck with her from she was a little girl. Miya grew up with soca music around her, so she developed a special love for the genre. The music ran through her veins, and she wouldn't miss a carnival if she could help it. She loved life and loved having a good time. When the time came for Miya to go to college, like many young people, she wanted to spread her wings. She didn't want to go too far from home, so she decided to stay in Florida. This seemed like a great decision for Miya, who loved the warm Floridian weather. She dreamt of becoming a physical therapist, and the University of Central Florida seemed like a good choice and meant she had to move to Orlando. Miya made frequent trips back home to South Florida to be with her family. She was homesick when she booked a flight for Friday, September 24, 2021. Now the plane had landed and she was not on it, and all calls to her phone went unanswered. Emma sensed that something was wrong with her daughter and contacted Orange County Sheriff's Office to carry out a well-being check at Mia's apartment. When the sheriff arrived at the apartment, neither Miya nor her roommate were home. After a short time, Mia's roommate arrived and the sheriff was able to access the apartment. At first, nothing seemed obviously out of place, but that would soon change. A knock on Mia's door went unanswered, but the door was closed from the inside. At about 3 a.m. Saturday morning, Mia's family, who had driven hours to get to Orlando, arrived at the apartment complex. They had no idea where Miya could be. While they were talking to a police officer, a man approached them asking if they were looking for Miya. He identified himself as the maintenance guy. His name was Armando Caballero. He told them that he had made advances towards Miya and that she did not reciprocate, and so they became friends. The family found it odd that he was at the complex at that time of the morning. He did not live there and had no reason to be there.
But no one knows Tati.
You
You keep mentioning Tati and no one knows Tati.
And you get a call
The
all of a
roommates
sudden.
don't even know Tati.
You've been sleeping since
You
10
keep
o'clock,
saying
and all of a
Tati is
sudden
a
you're showing
friend.
up here at 4 o'clock in the morning
Because
looking
me
for
and
me.
Tati were conversating about it, so I finally, it came
Okay,
up.
but
Should
Tati
I go and
is
see if I
someone-
see anything?
No one knows Tati. That's my whole thing. Not
Tati
even the
is
roommate
an
knows
employee
Tati.
here. You
She's an
can-
employee, but you keep saying Tati is a friend and that you've all hung out together. No one here knows Tati. All her
Well,
other
not
friends
all
showed up. Her
these
closest
people.
friends that live in the complex were all here with us early on. No one knows Tati. Only you. Whoever Tati is, and Tati's on the phone, she shouldn't even be on the phone right now. As of right now, you have
work
sent
tomorrow- you work
obsessive
tomorrow,
texts to
Tati?
Miya. We have all seen the texts. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash out her money, and you claim that you weren't in touch.
Who told her
It's
gave her
on
life
text.
savings? I never
As a
said
matter of
that.
fact, we're going to get a police report to pull your phone records if that's the case.
What you trying to do?
There's evidence of obsession, of something. You're fascinated with
It's
me.
not only from my side, so don't try to make this
No
like
one,
I'm a
no one's
stalker.
saying that. It takes
She's
two.
not here to defend
There's-
herself right now,
obviously
so we
she's
gotta talk to
missing.
you.
So we're talking to
And
you,
I
who's been going
completely
back and
respect
forth
that. I
on
understand
text.
that. That is your
Cool.
family.
Right.
But until we figure out what's going on, just don't beat me up.
Nobody
one's
ain't beating
beating
you
If
up.
I'm guilty, why
But you
would I
put
come
yourself in the middle right here. You brought yourself over here.
Because we're concerned.
You're concerned. Why weren't you concerned hours ago?
I just found out.
All right, cool, no problem.
So
In
how
the
did, Ta-
first
so
few
how did
hours,
Tati find out?
We didn't think it was serious. I don't even know how Tati found
Oh,
out. She
somebody's
told me
missing and you don't think it's serious.
Someone
Maybe they
that
hanging out. They got this place right here. They go downtown. I don't know. Maybe her phone's off. I don't know what she.
She would use somebody's phone and call her dad or her grandmother, somebody.
she was supposed to show up for a flight and didn't show up.
Not calling her father.
Officer, can I ask you a question?
To make sure his daughter was safe, Marlon Marcano put a special lock on his daughter's windows to to prevent them from being opened easily. But those windows were one of the first clues that something was terribly wrong. The locks were broken. A dresser was propped up against the door, preventing it from being opened from the outside. Mia's bed was disheveled, and there was an obvious red stain on her pillow. A teddy bear that Mia loved and always took with her was still in the room. There were also broken jewelry on the floor, a box cutter that did not belong to Mia underneath a mat, and a packed luggage stood in a corner, waiting for her trip to Fort Lauderdale. All these told a Mia had told her family and friends about a co-worker who was making her uncomfortable, but they had no idea the gravity of the situation, and certainly did not think that Mia was in any kind of danger. But now Mia was missing without a trace. Did Armando Caballero know more than he was saying? After their unpleasant encounter with Armando Caballero, Mia's family became suspicious of him and launched their own surveillance. Later that Saturday morning, they were parked outside Armando's apartment when they saw him wearing gloves as he took several items out of his car, including a pink blanket that they identified as Mia's. They immediately reported this to the police. When law enforcement arrived, they did not have a warrant to search Armando's apartment, but Armando allowed the family to look through his apartment while the police.
Not gonna stop until we find him.
Mia!
As the search intensified, the story of the missing college student Miya Marcano was broadcasted on every newscast. People came from near and far to join in the quest to bring Mia home to her family. Mia's family made desperate pleas to anyone who could help them bring their loved one home, as they held on to the hope of one day hearing Mia's infectious laugh and feeling the warmth of her hugs again. Then, 3 days after Mia disappeared, the story took an even darker turn. A body had been found. It was Armando Caballero. The body was found in a garage at the apartment complex where he lived. He had taken his own life. The news was both shocking and disheartening. He was the prime suspect in the disappearance of Miya Marcano. He had what looked like bite marks on his finger and other marks on his body, which suggested he had recently been in a physical altercation. Now he was dead, along with any information that might have helped bring Mia home. At the time of his death, there was an arrest warrant out for him.
After Mia was reported missing, our detectives determined 27-year-old Armando Manuel Caballero was a person of interest in her disappearance. Earlier today, Armando Caballero was found dead at an apartment complex in Seminole County. We are employing anyone with any information about Mia's whereabouts to please come forward.
Armando Caballero, a 27-year-old maintenance worker at Arden Villas Apartments, seemed to have developed an obsession for the 19-year-old. The former varsity football player was over 6 feet tall and was easy on the eyes. He had promised Mia his life savings and had sent her money just for being pretty. Mia was not interested and returned the money. As a maintenance worker, he had access to all the apartments, including Mia's. He had a key to every unit. He was known to have made unwanted advances towards Miya, which she had rejected. Investigators discovered that on the day Miya went missing, Armando Caballero was quite busy. That Friday afternoon, he was up to no good. At 2:14 p.m., the deadbolt to Mia's apartment was opened by an on-call maintenance key fob known to be in the possession of none other than Armando Caballero. Checks made into Armando's history revealed that his past was not without blemish. Armando had one prior arrest in 2013 for using a destructive device resulting in property damage and discharging a weapon on school property, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. In addition, in March 2021, a tenant of Sable Club Apartments, where Armando Caballero had worked prior to working at Arden Villa's apartment, accused him of throwing a gym weight against her window because she refused to meet with him, according to the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. Body cam footage from the officers who responded to the scene that night showed the window broken at the condo complex. However, the woman never actually saw Armando, so no charges were filed in the case. On the afternoon of September 24, CCTV showed Miya around 5 p.m. heading to her apartment after work. If only someone could have stopped her from walking into her death. Investigators surmise that Armando, who had entered Mia's apartment about half an hour earlier, was waiting for her in the apartment. He caught Miya off guard. Then, on October 2nd, 8 days after Mia's disappearance, the search came to an end. Another body was found, this time in a wooded area near Timberscan Apartments, where Armando previously lived, 17 miles away from Arden Villa's apartment. Miya had been found. The police were led to that area by the cell phone data from Armando's phone. The cause of death was determined to be homicidal violence. Miya was found wearing jeans, a bra, and a robe. Her mouth, hands, and feet were bound with black duct tape. Her purse was found nearby, containing the shirt she was last seen wearing. According to Sheriff John W. Mina, there was no indication that there was sexual assault of any kind, and the cause of death was never determined because of the advanced state of decomposition. Miya Marcano's family has suffered unimaginable pain and suffering. Out of their tragic loss came the Miya Marcano Act. The law requires landlords in Florida to conduct thorough background checks on all maintenance workers and notify tenants whenever someone enters their apartment. It's a critical step toward preventing similar tragedies in the future.